Hello, hope everyone's okay, and well, I'm just recovering from a really bad virus actually. Been off work for a week and I've got to go in work Monday though. Got some really urgent stuff that needs doing, so I've got to try and hopefully by Monday it'll be alright. It's Saturday. Yes, I'm gonna install a chip, this beautiful Vectron class which I bought a few weeks ago. And yeah, I imported it from Germany, and I made a bit of a mess on the calculations on the exchange rate on this model, so it went over. Even if it goes over by a couple of pence, over 135 quid, you got to pay the full whack on the import duty, so I had to pay another 30 quid on this. I think it was about another 33 quid or something, because it went over slightly, which is a bit of a downer, but other than that, it's still worth the money. Because this model is really difficult. In fact, it's virtually impossible to get hold of this in this country. And even with the price of importing it, I think it works out £180 with all the costs to get this model into the UK. It's still worth it. I've got a Plux 22 Lockdown 5 to go in, and I'm not sure if this has already got internal speakers. It's got an internal energy storage fitted, but I'm not sure about the speaker. I'm going to take it apart now, just have a look. Right, so let's have a look. Let's get it out of the box again. Pull it out. There we go. Never had a look inside one of these before, so anyway. I know it opens up while pulling the sides apart. You've got to be careful though, because I've never done this before and I've got to be careful. The body comes off quite nice. No problems there. Bit of details come off the side there, which just should clip back on there. Don't know how that's happened. Oh, I see. That wants to locate back into the hole. Very difficult to see the hole though. Yeah, you got this extra detail on the side which I've just pulled off slightly. There we go, that's in. That just pops back in, that's fine. That just pops back in, but you got extra detail to think about, making sure you don't knock off around the. So much detail on these, and plus you got added extra detail as well in the box. You've got snow plows, or the rail clearers rather. You've got different versions of that as well, all the other extra details that go on the cab. It's a lot of stuff. So anyway, you can put a 16 pen chip in, or a Plux 22 in there as a capacitor. So basically it's just a matter of carefully pulling out the blanking chip, which looks like that. And that's a 16 that. And then you can see the setup there for a 22. You put two different types of chips in there, so that's the next thing to do. Yeah, so there's a lock sound. V5 typical packing. Take that out. This has the instructions, which I don't. They stopped putting these instructions in the boxes, because basically they're a waste of paper, really. Because I mean, for the UK market, it's all in German. That, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, it's got a nice set of instructions there. And then we've got the lock sound sticker, which you can put on the box or Roco. And you got your 4 widths. You can either have the cap on. I think you can just put the cap on, or you can have different thicknesses for the speaker. So I'm going to put that in the decoder tester and upload. They are expensive, these chips. This was about 95. This chip. I think it'll have a preloaded sound, but I'll program it up myself anyway. So I've got the Plux 22 chip inserted into the ESU tester board, and I've just loaded it up on the programming software, and yeah, it's logged onto it. And I'll go to driver's cab, let's fire it up. It's working. You can adjust the bass and treble on the fly as well on the Vectron 5s. So that's all working. Just need to update the firmware on the chip, but I'll do that when I select a sound file. So I'm going to go to ESU. I'm going to go to ESU and then select a sound file. So go to ESU. I'm logged in at ESU. Select sound files. Vectron 5 family. And then European sound files. Select that. Then go electric. And you can just pick whichever one you want, or you can do a search. I'm going to just type in Vectron and then click the search bar, and there we go. I've got two different Vectron files that I can put in this Roco. Vectron Last Mile, I'm not sure what that is. That's a 2019. In fact, they're both 2019, they're quite recent. Sound files. Lock Sound 5, Vectron, European. Drop down the functions and it'll tell you all the functions. That's got 23 settings and functions. Quite a lot. And the other one has got 25. I don't know what the difference is. I might try this Last Mile one. Oops, gone the wrong way. Yeah, so download Lock Sound 5, accept all. That goes to the download file. This is how easy it is to do on the ESU. And all you do then, you double click on open file and it'll automatically load it into the programming software. It's just apps. Compared to Zemo programming, the ESU is far superior. And it's just so good. I mean, look at that. All done, all loaded, ready to go. And then all you do then, on the programmer, which I'll just show now. The programmer, the chip is in the decoder tester, and then that's linked to the power goes into the, into the programmer, and then you've got the cable going to the computer. Then the output, track power output goes out of that into the tester, and it also goes out as well into a programming track if I need it to, which I will do in a bit. So I can program that chip on the tester board now, so that is the most safest way to do it. And then all you do is click on write sound file, you click on that, then it gives you choice. Write only the decoder data or everything, all the defaults that are on the sound file, or all the CV adjustments. Or you could, like I say, you could bypass that and then just put the sound file on, but keep the CV adjustments the same if you've got special settings already on there. So I'm going to do that, press click. So it'll write sound file. It might come up with another box saying, do you want a firmware update? And there it is, update decoder firmware. Yes, so I'll go next. Writing firmware, it'll do that first, and then it'll drop back down to the sound file. Upload into the flash drive of the chip. And that sometimes takes between 10 and 20 minutes, just it all depends on what it is and how detailed the sound file is. The more detailed the sound file is, and say it's a 16-bit sound file, it'll take longer. But yeah, actually this firmware is taking longer than it normally does. Let's give that a few more moments. There we go, that's done, and then it will drop on to the sound file update. Write decoder data. Now it's writing sound memory into the flash drive of the chip. So there we go, and I'll just leave that. That'll take probably 20 minutes. It's a big sound file this, so it'll take 15-20 minutes. Anyway, I'll stop it there now. Right, the chip, the sound file's just uploaded, so just fire it up. It'll sound horrendous because it's yeah, it all works, but because the casing's not on the speaker, it'll sound rubbish. So take it out the decoder tester and put it into Roco now. One thing to bear in mind, when if you've got a chip in there in a decoder tester or in a Roco and you're messing around with it while it's in operational mode, just don't go near it with any screwdrivers or anything like that. Don't even touch it. If it shorts out, you've got a problem. I'll blow the chip, so you don't want that. Anyway, shut that down. I'm going to install it into the Roco. Right, so there we go. And this chip could probably do with building a speaker, but I'm not sure what thickness to use yet. I can't put it there because obviously the cab goes here, so it's going to have to go on top. A fairly thin speaker by the looks of it. I think there's another option, maybe putting a speaker in that area. But I mean dropping the wires through. But I don't want to mess around doing that. I'm going to try and put it in the roof anyway. So just got to be careful now. So yeah, it's very carefully. The wires are. You got to be so careful while putting these on. That's it. A slight amount of push. Make sure you don't mess up the pins because they're easy to bend. You can see how nice that's gone in. That's perfect, that. And then the actual speaker's going to go about here, I think. I'm not 100% sure yet. It's going to have to be a thin case on that. Don't think. I'll have to look in the instructions and see if there's any other options for the speaker. And again, don't mess around with the speaker or touch the speaker when it's operational. Don't touch the diaphragm. Right, so I'm going to just grab the cap, just place some glue on that. Very carefully. Just leave that there for a minute. And just place that over the top of the diaphragm on the chip, which you have got to be really careful. Not to get any glue on that. So we'll just leave that to settle down and dry, making sure it's all level. and that will fit about there, no problem at all. So zoom in on that a minute. Yeah, that's more than sufficient. Let's have a look at it, make sure it's got to make sure it's lined up properly on the casing. Yeah, it's all looking good. Just leave that for a minute and then that's it. It was just a matter of doing all the auxiliary ports, making sure they're connected right, because it's got cab lights on this. There's quite a lot of extra functions on this, and I've just got to make sure the power backup is working as well, because that's designed to work with the Zemo chip, this board. So the Zemo chip and the sound file for it will be all set up automatically, but we'll see how we go on with this. I got it on the test track, power it up, just drop the sound volume down a bit. That sounds really loud even at a drop down level. It works alright, that. Powerful little speakers, those Cube speakers are amazing. Adjust the bass and treble. Lights are working. Cab lights are working. I'll just stop it now. Change direction. Cab lights are working alright, that's good. That's fine. It's all reverse direction lighting. Yeah, the reverse direction red white needs changing on the auxiliary function on the mapping, because that's different. It's set up for the Zemo chip, so that'll need changing. Yeah, also the capacitor's working as well, so when I pull it off the track there's a split second where it's holding power for dirty track, etc. And it's just a basic power bank. It's not got its own custom circuit board. But other than that, it's alright. Let's see whether or not this body will go back on. Right. I think this body can go. Pretty much either way around, really, so I'm not expecting this to go on, but let's have a look. See if it does. I could do putting a driver in this as well, because there's no drivers, which is annoying. So, there we go. It's nearly on, 100%. Let's push out a little bit more. There we go. That's all on. That's working. Very nice. Just give it a bit of a... Yeah, I've just had to take the body off and take a bit more black tack off, because that speaker's only just going in. Because this body's got to line up 100%, 100% perfect. You've got to make sure these wires are right as well. I'm not getting snagged when you put the body on. That went on beautiful then. If you don't have it 100% perfect, what happens is the lights don't light correctly. But now that's been sorted. And there's also dip switches on the circuit board to turn the cab lighting on and off, and various other functions if you don't want them in analog mode or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, that's all done now. I need to just do the CV mapping, sorry, the function mapping for the outputs. Right, so I've sorted out all the auxiliaries. So for forward F0, the lighting arrangement is front light 1, auxiliary 1, and for reverse F0 it should be rear light 1 and auxiliary 2, and that will do the red tail lights and white cab lights accordingly when they switch over in the direction of travel. And then auxiliary 5 and 6 are the cab lights at either end, so I've got them to go on depending on which direction they go. One will switch off and the other will switch on. And yeah, and I've got the high beam. The high beams are auxiliary 3 and auxiliary 4, and they're triggered when I drive forward or reverse. The high beam will kick in automatically. That's how I like it anyway. So that's what it looks like with all the function mapping done. And then function outputs for the cab lights, I've done dimmable headlight, fade in or fade out, with a 0.41 millisecond delay on either cab end, just to make it a little bit more effective. That's it. Let's have a look at a Roco. Right, well that's it, it's all done on that one now, so put it on the layout and fine tune it again probably. Change the couplings over to Fleischmann ones and probably add some more details out of the box into the cab areas and what have you, but that's about it, that's all done. Thanks for watching.